Off-the-shelf GOS rules. Company, a 1 or 2 step unit that has a company-sized unit symbol. Units with 2 steps are considered 2 companies. For AFE units, the step indicator is in the place of the company symbol. Some 1-step company units have a Z-step unit on the reverse side. Core, a collection of units that may sometimes be referred to using the XXX unit size symbol. A corps is usually subordinate to an army. Covering terrain. Terrain in which units are more difficult to observe. There are 2 types of covering terrain, movement and observation. Current combat strength. A unit's attack and defense factors after any reductions due to step losses but before any other modifications. Defender. Player whose unit or units is the target of a barrage airstrike, naval gunfire, ground assault, or overrun. Defensive works, term used to describe all types of man-made defensive positions, including fieldworks, forts, and fortified areas. Deployed heavy bridge units under construction or fully constructed. Detachment, a unit or units that have been reassigned to another formation or designated as an independent unit or sub-formation. Die roll. Die rolls always consist of one of 2 types and may be modified by die roll modifications. 1d10 indicates the need for rolling 1 10-sided die. A 0 result is a result of 0. 2d10 indicates the need to roll 2 10-sided dice with 1 die representing the 10s and the other die the 1s. Results can range from 0 to 99. Die roll modifier, numerical value, either added or subtracted from a die roll to represent specific conditions present that would affect the variable outcome of a given circumstance. Unless noted otherwise, DRMs are cumulative. Division, a collection of units that may sometimes be referred to using the XXX unit size symbol. Entrenchment, defensive positions that may be constructed in the context of the game, representing improved communications, fields of fire, and temporary emplacements, or improvements in existing structures that offer additional protection for defending units. Exploitation, term used to define either a unit mode or game phase that allows a side to take advantage of a breakthrough or to react to an enemy advance. Extended night activity, ENA. Special game turn conducted after the night game turn, which represents additional effort on the part of troops at night when they normally would be sleeping or refitting. Fieldworks. Entrenchments and improved positions are classed as fieldworks or FW and can be constructed in the context of the game. Final assault value, FAV. The value obtained to resolve ground assaults after applying all required column shifts to the ground assault value. Fire support, the term used to describe an attack using air artillery or naval gunfire points that is conducted against an enemy-occupied target hex. Fog of War simulates the confusion and uncertainty of battlefield conditions, even though a unit or stack may be observed by enemy units. FOW, foe, rules still limit the level of information an opposing player can determine. Formation, a division or an independent brigade that has a headquarter counter. All units of a division or independent brigade have a color box behind their divisional or brigade ID to aid in sorting and identifying the units of that formation on the map. Fortifications represent hardened defensive positions built prior to the commencement of any game and may not be constructed within the context of the game. Fortified area represents hardened defensive positions printed on the map. West wall hexes are the most common type of fortified areas. Fuel point, a unit of measure used to quantify the fuel requirements of mechanized formations and/or units. Game day, unit of measure to determine the historical dates of a given game. GDs are divided into 3 regular game turns, AM, PM, and night, and a possible ENA period. Game turn, unit of measure used to regulate the flow of play during any given GD, game day. General supply, GenS, form of supply based upon tracing a supply path from a primary supply source. Ground assault, or GA, the term used to describe the act of attacking enemy units from adjacent hexes. Ground assault table, table used to resolve GAs, ground assaults. Ground assault value, GAV, value obtained by comparing the attacker's final ground assault strength to that of the defender's final ground assault strength prior to any column shifts. Ground support, a fire support mission conducted using air points. Game turn record track, GTRT, the track used to record game turns and game days. In some games, reinforcements, air point availability, and historical weather are also listed on this track. Headquarters, HQ, unit representing the command structure of a given formation or chain of command. HQs have special functions outlined in the appropriate rules sections. Heavy bomber represents heavy bombers and assigned fighter escorts. Hex, a hexagonal game space enclosed by hex sides that regulates unit location and movement on the game map. Hybrid unit, a mechanized unit that is a mixture of AFVs and infantry, includes units with the recon symbol. Thus, rules that pertain to AFVs apply to hybrid units specifically stated apply to hybrids unless specifically stated in the rules. Improved position, defensive positions that may be constructed in the context of the game representing rudimentary foxholes, designated fields of fire, and a slightly improved communications network. Independent unit, a unit that does not belong to any formation, usually a corps or army level asset, or one that has been detached from its formation and made independent. Infantry, units with the plain infantry symbol, two crossed lines, appearing anywhere in the unit type box. Other symbols may also be superimposed on the infantry symbol. Glider, parachute, armored. Most infantry units are leg class units for movement purposes, although in armor, oval or wheels under the unit box signify that the unit is mechanized. Combat engineers, pioneer, and machine gun units are considered to be a type of infantry. In battery, or IB, used to describe when an artillery unit is organized to conduct fire support. Most in-battery artillery units cannot move. Kampfgruppe, a German term used to describe an ad hoc subformation grouped together to complete a specific mission. In game terms, some German formations are divided into Kampfgruppe, which are usually marked with the leader historically associated with the group. Treat all Kampfgruppen as subformations. Lead unit, the unit selected in ground assaults that is used to determine the proficiency for the attacking or defending units. Leg units, units that move predominantly on foot, usually infantry. See the unit type chart for a graphic explanation. Line of sight, or LOS, a straight line from the center of a spotter's hex to the center of the target hex that is unobstructed and allows a unit to accurately identify targets and or lay down a field of fire. Maneuver reserve, a specific mode that a formation may enter that represents a time that the formation may rest its personnel and repair equipment, allowing the formation to operate at a higher level of performance for a given time period after exiting MR mode.